Battle through the heavens as God, the Flame Emperor Chapter 1, Do Di breaks the sky, the mysterious passage of the new continent. Gamma Empire, Ulthane City. Since the end of the war between the two emperors, Xiao Yan, Suner and Kalen held a grand wedding in Wutan City. Countless people in the entire Dochi continent witnessed their love. The wedding was romantic and grand. After that, it was rumored that Xiao Yan accompanying the two daughters on the Dochi continent, they seemed to have disappeared in the eyes of ordinary people, but only a few people knew that Xiao Yan was the only one who roamed the mainland, and the two daughters went to retreat to attack Do Di. Since then, in the Gamma Empire, Wutan City has jumped to become a first-tier city, and the small Xiao family has also developed in geometric multiples. Emperor Yan Xiao Yan. On the top of a familiar cliff, a frail man in black was lying on the grass, holding a piece of grass in his mouth, chewing slightly, letting the faint bitter taste fill his mouth. The starting point of everything seems to have changed since I met the teacher here. The man in black smiled and muttered to himself. Taking a closer look, this seemingly weak figure and terrain seemed to be somewhat familiar. Emperor Yan Xiao Yan. The mountain behind Wutan City. The seemingly emaciated young man in front of him is the supreme powerhouse of the Dochi continent. The legendary figure who rescued Central Continent from Emperor Soul Heaven and even saved Dochi continent from a catastrophe. Time flies, and before you know it, decades have passed since the legendary battle of the two emperors. After Xiao Yan defeated the Soul Heaven Emperor, the Dochi continent also continued to celebrate for a long time. First, it was to celebrate that Dochi continent was still the continent that produced many geniuses and continued to be wonderful. The second is to celebrate the emergence of Do Di powerhouses in Dochi continent. This breath? It should be almost the same. Decades are really fleeting. Xiao Yan stood up from the grass and looked at the space in front of him that was shaking slightly. It was strange to say that the grass under Xiao Yan's feet not only did not tilt because of Xiao Yan's reclining, but was even more verdant than the surrounding grass. A figure gracefully walked out of the shattered space, looking at the man in black in front of him. He couldn't help smiling. Brother Xiao Yan. A crisp and sweet voice echoed in the back mountain. Successful. Xiao Yan turned around, looked at Suner's delicate and slightly blushed cheeks, and smiled slightly. Well, thanks to Brother Xiao Yan, you opened the mysterious plane channel to absorb the origin chi there. Otherwise, I am afraid that on the Dochi continent, there is still no one who can break through to Do Di. Suner looked at Xiao Yan with eyes like the moon. Afterwards, Suner and Xiao Yan hugged tightly, and then Xiao Yan gently hugged Suner's waist and said with emotion, "When your father sent you to my Xiao family, now you want to come, but you have lost Mrs. back again. You have always been the hero in Suner's heart." Suner also looked at the back mountain of Wutan City in the Gamma Empire and couldn't help feeling a little bit, yes, everything started from here. Here is her beautiful childhood. I met Brother Xiao Yan, he has always been a hero in his heart. Xiao Yan and Suner cuddled together, looking at each other. Xiao Yan also attacked his charming cherry lips when he saw this. Suner was startled at first, but he didn't dodge, and let the man in front of him move. A sense of spring is slowly radiating from the back mountain of Wutan City. Cough, cough, cough. Did we come at the wrong time? Two middle-aged men came out of the void, looking at the two men and women cuddling below with a loving look on their faces. Although the two of them today seem to have not changed much from the past, their aura is far from what they used to be. That feeling is actually a Do Di. Father, Senior Zhu Kuan. Xiao Yan said to the two people in the sky, pulling Suner with a hint of crimson on her cheeks. Ha ha ha. It doesn't matter. Suner is already married to you, and it's one of my wishes. But you're really a kid. I think I just sent Suner to your Xiao family in an attempt to get the piece of soul jade from Emperor Tuasha. I can't imagine that now I have really lost my wife and lost my army. However, thanks to your help, I finally broke through the barrier of Dosheng, and it's considered cheap for you, kid. Gu Yuan couldn't help but be very satisfied when he saw Xiao Yan and his beloved daughter Suner, who was a father. Which father doesn't want his daughter to find the happiness of the one she loves? Ha ha ha. Xiao Yan also laughed in agreement with Gu Yuan, who looked at him with a look of relief. Kai Lin is also out. Xiao Yan had just finished talking to Gu Yuan's father when he saw that in the depths of the space, suddenly an overwhelming nine-colored luster spewed out, and finally the colored light condensed and turned into an enchanting shadow that appeared in front of Xiao Yan. After so many years of seclusion, it's finally a breakthrough. Kai Lin stretched out lazily, her charming curves showed her lingering perfection, and then the queen, as usual, said coldly, "This is Emperor Do. The level of the strong is really different from that of Do Sheng. Is Xiao Xiao alright?" Even with Queen Medusa's aura, she missed her daughter very much after years of seclusion, and immediately said to Xiao Yan. "Xiao Xiao is okay, she has been following the teacher and guided by the teacher himself." Xiao Yan also looked at Medusa and said slowly. Talking and laughing, the five of them walked from the back mountain to the main entrance of Zhao's house. "Don't worry, Yener, I'll take care of everything here for you. A good man is determined to go everywhere. Go with confidence. The new world is different from the Dochi continent. You have to be more careful about everything." His palm rested on Xiao Yan's shoulder. "Isn't the one who is talking about Xiao Zhan, the current patriarch of the Xiao family?" Since the war between the two emperors, Xiao Yan also handed over the position of the patriarch back to his father. Now the Xiao family is full of children and grandchildren. After Xiao Yan was promoted to Do Emperor, due to the activation of the power of blood, all people close to Xiao Yan have benefited from the power of blood, and their strength is like a boat. It was so easy to improve. In just a few short years, the Xiao family developed at an astonishing speed and became the leader of several major families. Of course, Xiao Yan, the Yan Emperor, was indispensable. Quietly bid farewell to the Xiao family, and the five of them also understood that the strong Do Di had to leave Dochi continent after all. Immediately, they appeared in Zhongzhou. The top of Zhongzhou, a mountain that broke out of the ground in the battle of the two emperors, is called Shuangdi Mountain by the world. This mountain is unattainable, and there seems to be a special energy barrier on it. No matter who it is, there is no way to forcibly break in. The five fighting emperors. This Do Di powerhouse, who had been extinct on Do Di continent for 10,000 years, now appears on Shuangdi Mountain as five of them. At the peak of the mountain, the five people who were still in the Xiao family just a moment ago appeared in a manner. In the manner, a figure in black stood with his hands behind his back, looking up at the endless void in front of him. There was no energy fluctuation on him. However, under that thin back, it seemed that even the heaven and the earth were only eclipsed. "You guys already have the strength to attack Do Di, but it's just because of the lack of origin chi that you can't go any further. As long as this problem is solved, you will be promoted to Do Di, it will be a matter of course." Xiao Yan said with a smile. "Hey, but even though you are promoted to Do Di, there seems to be a big gap between you and you. What level are you at now?" Zhu Kun asked curiously. He found that even if he stepped into Do Di level, still cannot see Xiao Yan's strength. After decades of practice, it seems that the latter has made progress. "It is true that after the years of your retreat, I vaguely feel that my strength has improved and I have improved, but there is no record of Do Di on the Dochi continent, and I don't know." Xiao Yan was also a little helpless. The Do Di strong is the strongest in this world, no one knows what goes up. However, he also understands that now he is indeed a lot more tyrannical than when he was just promoted to Emperor Do. Similar to the strength of the original Soul Emperor, I am afraid it will not hinder him in the slightest. In that plane, there may be an answer. At the time of your retreat, my feeling is getting stronger and stronger. The Dochi continent seems to be crowding me out. There is always a voice calling me from a distance. Xiao Yan raised his head, looked at the endless void, and muttered. "I'm curious about that voice you're talking about, or another unknown world." Zhu Kun cracked his mouth, and his eyes were strangely hot. In this world, they were already supreme powerhouses. However, in that mysterious plane, perhaps this was just the beginning of the journey. "You're heartbroken?" Xiao Yan said with a smile. "Aren't you?" Zhu Kun said with a smile. Xiao Yan nodded, took a deep breath, raised his head, and looked at the endless void. The smile on his face gradually became brighter. This kind of smile has not appeared for many years. Then Xiao Yan's figure slowly hovered above the Dochi road, squinting his eyes and looking at the endless void in the passage in front of him. his eyes that had been calm for many years suddenly became hot, and he murmured, "These decades of cultivation have almost made me forget the feeling of fighting." Gu Yuan and Zhu Kun hovered close to Xiao Yan, their eyes full of fiery eyes looking at the dark passage in front of them, and asked in a low voice, "Is this the passage leading to another road?" Xiao Yan frowned slightly, then nodded. "In that case, let's go." Xiao Yan's body slowly lifted into the sky, and as he rose into the sky, thick clouds suddenly poured out of the empty sky, and the sky within a radius of tens of thousands of miles turned dark in an instant. After coming down, countless powerhouses raised their heads in horror and looked at the Shuangdi Mountains, where they felt extremely terrifying energy fluctuations. Under the gaze of countless eyes on the ground, the endless void of the Shuangdi Mountains began to twist violently, the thick cloud layer wriggled, and finally turned into a dark passage. Horrible smell. This is the way to another plane. Looking at the dark passage like a black hole, Xiao Yan flicked his fingers, and 4 rays of light shot into the hands of Suner, all exchange soul jade with each other and leave a soul imprint on it. In this case, if there is any accident, you will be able to know the life and death situation of each other, and you can take these medicine pills. The unknown world is terrifying, and in the face of the unknown, we can only deal with emergencies by making more preparations. Speaking of Xiao Yan's hands, there were 4 Nataka rings, and there were some 9th-grade golden pills in them. It was precisely what Xiao Yan refined when they were retreating and attacking Do Emperor. Xiao Yan's current medicine refining skills can be said to be 10. The product is not too much. These numerous healing medicines all came from Xiao Yan, the #1 pharmacist in the Do-Chi continent. This 9th-grade Jindan is unmatched on the Do-Chi road, because it is always refined by the Do-Di strong, and it is not comparable to ordinary Jindan. When Xiao Yan was talking, his face was quite solemn. Even he felt dangerous in that mysterious world. Looking at the passage, even with Xiao Yan's strength, there was not a trace of coercion. Spread out, therefore, have to be cautious. When you enter the passage, you follow me closely. Don't separate. When you encounter a crisis, the first thing you need is to protect yourself. Even if it is the worst plan, we are separated. As long as there is a soul jade, it is easier to find it. Xiao Yan tilted his head and said solemnly to Kalin and Suner, "No one knows what the mysterious plane world is about. Although they are unmatched on the Do-Chi continent, when they get there, it is no longer like this. If the time comes, he will never be worried that Suner and Kalin are alone in this unknown world." Well. Yu reading www.yuyukeungshu.com. Kalin and Suner also knew the importance of what Xiao Yan said, so they both nodded calmly. "Let's go." After finishing all the instructions, Xiao Yan took a deep breath again, and stopped talking nonsense. He grabbed Kalin and Suner with both hands, and when he moved, he turned into a black light, as fast as he could. He swept away at the dark black hole like lightning, and behind him, Gu Yuan and Zhu Kun met, gritted his teeth, and followed. Countless gazes, looking at the meteors streaking across the sky. Some people seem to know what Xiao Yan and others are planning, and there are countless figures kneeling down on that continent. Congratulations to the Emperor Yan. Congratulations to the leader. The mighty voices converged on the Do-Chi continent, and finally rushed to the sky, echoing between the heaven and the earth, for a long time. Little guy. The world there will be 10,000 times more exciting than the Do-Chi continent. When I'll be promoted to the Do Emperor level, I'll go to that world to have a look. At that time, you'll have to lay down a place to let enjoy the blessings for your teacher. In the Tianfu alliance, Yao Lao's eyes could not help but get wet when he saw Xiao Yan, who was gradually disappearing in front of him. "Father, Mother Sun Air, I will come to find you when I reach Do Di." Even with the strength of Xiao Baxing Doshan, seeing the scene of family separation in front of him, tears in the corners of his eyes could not help falling. "Xiao Yan, you can't die, you still have to give me medicine to eat." Ziyan knew very well how much Xiao Yan helped him, if it wasn't for him. The end is also the beginning, a new world. Xiao Yan was looking forward to the new world in his heart, and the blood in his heart seemed to be burning again. "Let me, Xiao Yan, come to this unknown continent. Battle through the heavens as God, the Flame Emperor Chapter 2, Mysterious Passage. In the dark passage, there are several seemingly insignificant figures moving forward like meteors. The passage is dark, and it seems to have been flying for a long time, but it is strange that there is no end. Damn! There isn't any trace of Do-Chi in this passage, and there seems to be some substance in the darkness that is slowly swallowing our Do-Chi. Xiao Yan carefully used his soul power to investigate and said solemnly. You must know that the strong Do Emperor has already achieved a small world, and he can use the spiritual energy of heaven and earth to supply himself. A space without the spiritual energy of heaven and earth undoubtedly makes Do Emperor feel uneasy. Damn! Why is this passage so long? Gu Yuan couldn't help but said, when he was in the Do-Chi continent, he could travel thousands of miles in a flash with his strength as a Do-Di, but now he has been flying for a long time and has not come to an end. A touch of unease appeared in Gu Yuan's heart. And then he hurriedly looked at Xiao Yan. There seems to be light in front, and the exit should be in front, but everyone be careful, I always feel that something is not right here. Xiao Yan stared at this space, and the soul power of the Emperor's soul instantly shrouded out. The next moment, I quietly discovered that there were two strange light spots not far away, so I had to speak to Sunner and the others to remind them to move forward slowly. Two small and strange light spots suddenly appeared in the distance from the exit, like a beast that had just opened its eyes after being asleep for a long time. Wait, stop. What do you see? This passage is weird. Xiao Yan said solemnly, and then pointed his finger to two small light spots in the void next to the passage's exit. Gu Yuan, Zhu Kuan, Kai Lin and Sunner looked towards the place pointed by Xiao Yan. The passage was originally dark, but the space in the distance did not match the darkness, and there was a little bit of inconspicuous light. It seems that something is wrong. This thought has not lasted for a minute in everyone's heart, and suddenly, a mutation happened. At first, I didn't know what it was, but when I got closer, I realized that it was a pair of eyes. Seeing it for a long time made everyone shudder. Ha ha ha. The Do-Chi continent has never had a Do-Di strongman for 10,000 years. I can't believe that it has finally reappeared today. Then, with the power of the five of you, I can finally be freed now. Inside the dark tunnel, as if a deep and powerful breath slowly awakened. A pair of eyes emits a strange light, and the huge figure around the eyes blends with the dark void, making people feel an evil and uncomfortable atmosphere. At first glance, only these huge pupils can be seen. If you are not careful, observation really can't find the hidden dark breath. Seeing the huge pupil in front of him, Xiao Yan was the first to feel that terrifying aura, even above himself. Immediately cast the heavenly fire 3 mysterious transformations, demon fire transformation. Nothingness transformation. Emperor flame transformation. Then the Ihua Hengu ruler quickly condensed in his hand, because even if Xiao Yan's strength of Do-Di and the soul of Emperor realm faced the pair in front of him, the gaze of his eyes made his scalp tingle, not to mention the other 4 Sunner who stepped into Do-Di after him. The strange thing is that when Zhu Kuan just faced the former pair of pupils, he actually felt like he was about to bow down and surrender, and even the blood in his body boiled very strangely, and the closer the distance, the stronger it was. What's going on? In order to prevent Xiao Yan from being distracted, Zhu Kuan didn't say anything to Xiao Yan, and then quietly looked at the giant eyes in front of him. Who is your excellency? Xiao Yan stared at the pair of huge pupils in front of him, tightly holding the flame ruler with one hand, and the other hand seemed to signal to the people behind him. With Sunner and Kalin's understanding of Xiao Yan, how could they not know what this gesture means? Random glances at each other, ready to wait for an opportunity. Ha ha ha, die. It's been a long time since I cannibalized Do-Di's power. With a few of you, I can completely devour this creature and get rid of this endless void. Voices came from all directions, but in the crowd in front of him, he only showed a pair of huge pupils, and his figure was integrated into the dark space. We are the newly promoted Do-Di of the Do-Chi continent. This time, we traveled to the new continent by following the passageway. I don't know how to disturb the seniors' rest, so let's say goodbye. As early as when those huge pupils spoke, Xiao Yan let go of the 2. The woman's hand, hidden in the darkness, contained a suffocating, terrifying force. Sunner and Kalin saw Xiao Yan like this, adding in the gestures Xiao Yan made before. How could they not know what he was thinking? just when they opened their mouths, they saw the determination in Xiao Yan's eyes. Damn it! It's almost the exit, what should I do now? Gu Yuan anxiously looked at the giant eyes in front of him and the light-filled exit. You guys go first. I'll hold him back. I'll find you through the soul jade afterwards. Xiao Yan said in a deep voice, and then without talking nonsense, he tried his best to speed up the brewing of the terrifying energy in his hands. We are waiting for you in the new world. Suner and Kalen also knew the seriousness of the matter. Facing the huge pupils in front of them, even now that they had been promoted to Do Emperor, they felt powerless, and staying here would only add to Xiao Yan's burden. Xiao Yan, remember, your life belongs to this king. Kai Lin and Suner quickly walked towards the exit after saying that. Seeing this, Gu Yuan and Zhu Kun looked at each other without ink. Go. Then they tried their best to stimulate their vindictiveness and flew towards the exit. At the level of a Do Di powerhouse, you can know what to do or not just from the perception of aura, which is why Xiao Yan wants Suner and the others to escape first. Want to leave? The huge pupils said, and after waiting for 10,000 years, delicious food finally appeared. How could I let it go? Boom boom boom. A seemingly inconspicuous light appeared from the huge pupil, chasing Suner several people, trying to destroy the exit. The strange thing is that there is a black and white light looming on the forehead in the middle of the pupil. It's going to destroy the exit. Let's go. Gu Yuan felt the wave of destruction from the light, and the speed of the four of them increased to the extreme. Seeing that the four fleeing towards the exit were about to be blocked, Xiao Yan immediately launched an offensive to buy time for them to escape. You bastard, if you want to destroy the exit, pass me first. Huang Quan refers to. Huang Quan Palm. Instantly stopped him. Huan Chuan's anger. Then, while the giant eye didn't notice Xiao Yan, when the former wanted to destroy the exit, Xiao Yan struck his soul attack and hit the giant eye directly. Buddha's Fury Fire Lotus. The unknown creature before Xiao Yan's meeting was attacked by his own soul, causing it to stagnate for a short second. On his hand, there was a Buddha's Fury Fire Lotus composed of 22 colors that exuded terrifying fluctuations. Born to be born. Go. Xiao Yan exerted all his soul power to control the Buddha's Fury Fire Lotus to smash the pupil in front of him with all his might. Xiao Yan, we are waiting for you. If you die, I will not live. The four Suner escaped before the exit was destroyed, and then the whole space echoed with Suner's voice. The seemingly gentle Suner meeting saying these words is enough to see how important Xiao Yan is to him. All of this happened between lightning and flint. Xiao Yan looked at the four people who disappeared in front of him, and immediately felt relieved, and muttered to himself, Suner Kalen, you must wait for me, and I will definitely look for you. Xiao Yan is not a long-winded person. And immediately controlled the Buddha's anger lotus seeds, which exuded a destructive force, to attack the huge pupil in front of him. Boom boom boom. The Buddha's wrathful lotus full of destruction was in the middle of the unknown creature, and the terrifying destructive power spread out in circles, and when the aftermath of the battle dissipated, the true face of the unknown creature was about to surface. I want to see who you are. Xiao Yan's voice echoed in this mysterious passage. Battle through the heavens as God, the Flame Emperor Chapter 3, the abnormality of the net lotus demon fire. Boom boom boom. The Buddha's anger lotus seeds exploded when they reached the pupil, a huge shock wave hit the empty space, and the aftermath that was enough to destroy the peak of Dosheng slowly shook, making this piece of book the unstable space is fragmented, and the void like a black hole is slowly born in this space. Ah ah ah. Damn human beings. This emperor will definitely make you pay. Some bloodstains spread out from the huge pupils, and the tick-tick fell. In the quiet space, it was particularly harsh, and the angry voices from those pupils it was full of anger, and the food that finally reached the mouth just let the four people go. How could they not be angry? However, it obviously underestimated the destructive power possessed by the Buddha Furious Lotus. It had been hurriedly preventing the four from escaping the exit, underestimated Xiao Yan's attack, and suffered a lot of damage. The giant eyes seemed to be angry. Slowly I saw the entire body behind the pupil surfaced. Xiao Yan fixed his eyes and saw that this was an incomparably gigantic golden dragon. The body is hundreds of feet long, and the entangled tail is swaying, and the breath emanating from the invisible is only stronger than that of Xiao Yan, and the dragon horn on his forehead is broken. You must know that the dragon horn in the dragon family is an identity. The biggest symbol of strength, a broken dragon horn has no less impact on the dragon than a human being, and it is no wonder that it merges with the empty space, and people can only see a pair of huge pupils. It turned out to be this dragon. The color of the skin is the same as the dark surrounding environment, so Xiao Yan suddenly realized that he could only show a pair of pupils to everyone. Damn! 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 How dare a little human dare to hurt me? The golden dragon in front of him roared, and it could be seen that Xiao Yan really angered it. Suffer to death. The golden dragon roared at Xiao Yan and breathed out a dragon's breath, then drove the dragon's claws on his entire body and flew towards Xiao Yan, attempting to destroy this little human being with the power of his most powerful claws. But how could Xiao Yan give the giant dragon in front of him a chance? 3,000 thunders moved away in an instant, and the strange fire ruler in his hand was slowly surrounded by the strange fire. Xiao Yan obviously wanted to fight against the giant dragon. One claw. Just when Xiao Yan was about to fight hard, Xiao Yi ran out babblingly, swallowed all the dragon's breath in one gulp, and then stood on Xiao Yan's shoulder and babbled towards the golden dragon in front of him. On Yi's forehead, a mysterious rune that was exactly the same as the golden dragon appeared looming. If you look closely, even the rune on Xiao Yi's forehead is brighter and more dazzling than the dragon's. The golden dragon was extremely angry and drove the dragon's claw to face Xiao Yan's claw, but when he saw the mysterious rune on Xiao Yi's forehead, it suddenly became quiet. After a few seconds, the dragon's forehead lit up with white, and then the giant dragon in front of him kept roaring at Xiao Yi, as if asking for help from Xiao Yi. Xiao Yi babbled to him. Although Xiao Yan didn't know what happened, Xiao Yi told herself that the golden dragon in front of her was talking to her in dragon language. Ah! The golden dragon suddenly screamed violently after Xiao Yi seemed to have talked for a while. On the forehead of the golden dragon, 2 rays of light, one black and one white, were continuously coiled, and then separated from the forehead respectively. Suddenly there are 2 figures, one black and one white. Xiao Yan felt that the white figure exuded a strong aura, which seemed to be somewhat similar to Zhu Kuan's, while the black figure exuded a cold, evil and uncomfortable aura, and the white figure looked at Xiao Yan with some pain. The black figure looked at Xiao Yan with resentment, wishing to kill Xiao Yan. Damn it! Impossible! How can you break free from my control? It looks like you will succeed. As long as I swallow a few do di, I can completely swallow your soul. The black figure said to the white figure in surprise. It should be a good thing you did, right? The black figure mocked Xiao Yan maliciously. But forget it, after so many years, you are still so obsessed with it. Wouldn't it be possible for us to enjoy inexhaustible glory and wealth if you surrender? Why do you have to fight against us? You should know that with your strength, we will not treat you badly if you surrender. The black figure said slowly. Inexhaustible glory and wealth? You think I'm rare? Don't think I don't know what you're up to. The white figure raised his head and laughed loudly. The Golden Dragon King really lives up to its reputation. I haven't assimilated you for so many years, but today is the time to solve it. Speaking of which, I really want to thank this human boy. If it wasn't for the trauma he caused you today, I would have to devour you. It's a small price to pay. Suffer to death. The black figure showed an evil smile, although he didn't know why the Golden Dragon King broke free from his control today, but now that it was injured, it was the best time for him. With terrifying fluctuations, he launched an attack on the white figure. Jinglian Yaohua, help me. The white figure and the black figure were originally in a stalemate, but because the Golden Dragon King ate a Buddha's anger lotus from Xiao Yan, the injury was not light and he could only face the small figure on Xiao Yan's shoulder. He asked for help, although Xiao Yan didn't know what was going on in front of him, but seeing Xiao Yi staring at the black figure with a heavy expression, out of trust in Xiao Yi, he let him go to the black figure. Xiao Yan subordinates it is also quietly brewing the different fire square that was obtained from the ancient emperor's inheritance, in case of unexpected events. In this kind of battle at the level of the Do-Di powerhouse, only the square of different fires obtained from Do-Di's inheritance can come in handy. Old Zha Mao, since your master has been damaged, then you are not dead. The black figure slapped the Golden Dragon King, and the Golden Dragon King was caught off guard, and the Golden Dragon King retreated steadily. The black figure kept launching attacks. Just as the black figure was about to succeed in attacking the Golden Dragon King's vital points, a milky white flame burned towards the black figure, blocking the attack. You must know that when Xiao Yan faced the Heavenly Emperor of Battle Spirit on the Do-Chi continent before, he ordered all the different fires in the Do-Chi continent, all the source fires of the different fires to remain in Xiao Yi's body, and now it's fair to say that Xiao Yi possesses the fire spirit with the origin of 23 different fires cannot be underestimated. Damn it! The seal of reincarnation? How is that possible? The black figure looked at the mysterious rune on Xiao Yi's forehead that was getting more and more dazzling, and couldn't help losing his voice. From his mouth, Xiao Yan seemed to hear the emotion of fear, even fear. Even the offensive in his hand was stagnant. Yahaha! The strange fire square in Xiao Yan's hand flew towards Xiao Yi in an uncontrollable moment, and Xiao Yi's body suddenly lit up with 22 different colors of strange fire. Plots generally fly straight to their respective stone pillars. The black figure felt a lot of power from the different fire square, and fear was born from the heart. Run! For some reason, a sudden thought suddenly appeared in the black figure's heart. Boom boom boom. The 22-color different fire plaza is like a huge formation, shrouding the black figure who just wanted to escape. When the Golden Dragon King saw this, the dragon breathed in his mouth and went all out, cooperating with Xiao Yi's attempt to seal the black figure. I didn't expect that I could still see the reincarnation seal in my lifetime. Golden Dragon King, since the matter has come to this point, I will give the Lord an account by destroying your body. Seeing that the black figure could not escape this damned square of different fire, he muttered to himself. A terrifying wave flew towards the dragon body of the Golden Dragon King. Obviously, this was the last blow of the black figure. Xiao Yi and the Golden Dragon King went all out to seal the black figure. Xiao Yinguang knew from the aftermath of the battle that this was no longer a battle that he could intervene in. Ha ha ha. Golden Dragon King, your physical body has been destroyed, your foundation has been shaken, and my mission has been completed. The next time the darkness will defeat the light. The black figure was swallowed up by the different fire plaza before he finished speaking, and his soul will follow. It was slowly refined over time. The inside of the passage was fragmented, the Golden Dragon King and Xiao Yi were both out of breath. Xiao Yan hurriedly flew over to check the situation. Thank you so much this time, Yaohua. The white figure called the Golden Dragon King smiled at Xiao Yi even though he only had a soul left. Xiao Yi didn't answer it, as if trying to remember something. Xiao Yan took it and said, its memory has not been fully recovered, what should we do now? The vortexes had already formed before they knew it, and they exuded greedy suction, as if they wanted to devour Xiao Yan and the others. Battle through the heavens as God, the Flame Emperor Chapter 4, the mysterious cave mansion, the ancient Emperor Tuasha is here. Why are you here? Xiao Yi obviously remembered something, and turned to face the Golden Dragon King. It's too late to say, this space is about to collapse, go out and talk to you in detail, come with me, said the Golden Dragon King. After finishing his gestures, a miniature appeared in the broken void in front of him. Small channel. The Golden Dragon King just went through a big battle, and now he has broken through the void again, and his soul body is getting weaker and weaker. Let's go. After saying that, without waiting for Xiao Yan's approval, his soul directly resided in the Na ring in Xiao Yan's hand. Boom boom boom. The space where Xiao Yan and the others were collapsed instantly, led by the Golden Dragon King, they poured into the new passage. In a few moments, a simple door appeared in front of the three of them. There is a familiar smell in the door. Because the strange fire in the body is beating violently, as if seeing the most delicious food. This is... Xiao Yan looked at the Golden Dragon King in a state of soul in shock. It's been 10,000 years. I'm finally back, I don't know where you have gone, Tuasha. Looking at the quaint gate, the Golden Dragon King couldn't help but murmured with some moist eyes. Xiao Yi looked at the door thoughtfully, and the mysterious rune on her forehead became brighter and brighter. Let's go. Xiaoyi, I still need your help to open the stone gate. The Golden Dragon King said and floated to the gate, muttering something near the gate, and the mysterious rune on Xiaoyi's forehead fell off his forehead and moved towards the gate. Fly over the stone gate. Don't worry, I know you have a lot of questions to ask, and there will be answers you want to know. The Golden Dragon King clearly saw that Xiao Yan was confused and said quickly. The stone gate in front of him slowly opened, and a terrifying aura like a sleeping giant emanated from the stone gate, which directly made Xiao Yan feel the pressure to kneel and worship, but there was also a strong cordiality that followed. Feel. What's going on? Xiao Yan felt 10,000 puzzled at this moment, but he had to suppress the puzzlement in his heart and followed Xiao Yi and the Golden Dragon King and walked in slowly. Xiao Yan looked inside the Sherman and found that there was something special inside. There are not too many expensive items in the quaint and simple stone gate. The most conspicuous thing is on the stone gate steps. An old man dressed in dark robes has nothing special about his face. If he ignores his colorful hair, if so, he is almost no different from those ordinary old men. At this moment, the old man is stable and peaceful, but the aura of destruction felt from the old man is sitting cross-legged among the buds, with his tightly closed eyes slowly opening on his old face. Xiao Yan had seen this figure several times, and his inheritance came from the person in front of him. At this moment, Xiao Yan knew in his heart that this was the real Tuasha ancient emperor. Disciple Xiao Yan, I have seen the master. Xiao Yan looked at the ancient emperor Tuasha who appeared again in front of him, and immediately said respectfully with his arms in front of the figure in front of him. After all, if it weren't for the Dudi cave mansion left by the ancient emperor Tuasha, there would be no Xiao Yan today. Xiao Yan also received the inheritance of the ancient emperor Tuasha. In other words, he can be regarded as a disciple of the ancient emperor Tuasha. So it makes sense to call a master. You're quite clever, kid. Xiao Jin has really worked hard for you all these years, hey. Emperor Tuasha looked at the weak Golden Dragon King in front of him and sighed endlessly. Come here, Xiaoyi. Ancient Emperor Tuasha smiled at the three people in front of him, and immediately waved a milky white light towards the Golden Dragon King. The originally illusory soul of the Golden Dragon King became more and more solid. Xiaoyi he also stood on the shoulders of Emperor Tuasha Gu, as if trying to remember something. Is it the seal of reincarnation? Emperor Tuasha murmured. The space in front of you is a bud of flame. I know you have many questions, sit down and I will talk to you slowly. Hearing this, Xiao Yan did not act coquettishly. With a flicker of his figure, he sat cross-legged on the flame bud. Anyone who is promoted to the level of Do-Di in the Do-Chi continent will be crowded out by the Do-Chi continent plane. In just a few days, as many as a few decades, the displacement will reach a critical point, and then you must leave the Do-Chi continent and go to the new continent rank. Face. Ancient Emperor Tuasha looked at Xiao Yan and said slowly without waiting for the latter to speak. I feel this too, but why were the five of us attacked by the Golden Dragon King when we entered the passage leading to the new world? Xiao Yan said solemnly, if according to what Emperor Tuasha said, why would there be any inside the passage? There are people who attack themselves, shouldn't there be planes to attract people? You're really blaming it wrong. Emperor Tuasha Gu looked at the Golden Dragon King full of guilt and continued. You're right, every person who enters the new continent from the lower plane continent will have someone to pick him up, but the channel connecting our Do-Chi continent to the new continent was destroyed by a war 10,000 years ago. Some people died in battle, and a few people did their best to repair the passage, so we have not been able to guide people since 10,000 years ago. Xiao Yan saw a trace of loss in his eyes when he saw the ancient Emperor Tuasha talking. Master, what is the reincarnation mark on Xiao Yi's forehead? Xiao Yan always cared about what the black figure said before. Xiao Yi has followed him for many years, and it has helped him so much. Xiao Yan doesn't want Xiao Yi. There are 3 long and 2 short points. This is not only a problem of his own strength has dropped significantly, Xiao Yi is more like a partner to himself. The seal of reincarnation is the mark left in this world by the most peak powerhouses in the entire Great Thousand World. When the time is right, the previous peak powerhouses will wake up again, or they will give them the mark of their choice. The strength of the owners peak, but no one knows how long this time will be. Emperor Tuasha said with respect in his eyes. The greater the ability, the greater the responsibility. Xiao Yan looked at Xiao Yi quietly, and suddenly there was a trace of moving. But don't worry, I won't let you have an accident one day. Xiao Yan said firmly. I'm talking to you about the 10,000 Years' War. The battle 10,000 years ago covered the sky and the sun. It gathered the heavens' favorites from the whole universe to fight against the alien evil races isolated from the great thousand worlds. It lasted for 10 years. In the end, our Dakian world sacrificed all the peak powerhouses and desperately burned all their own vitality to seal the abominable alien race. In order to delay the invasion of our Dakian world by the alien race, let us breathe. We fought back with anger, and finally hit the foreign evil clan severely and drove them out of the great thousand world. In that battle, we underestimated the power of the foreign evil clan, causing our great thousand world to suffer heavy damage. Our top powerhouse in the great thousand world burns life force to seal the alien race, but the alien race is the most peak existence after all, so even if all the life force is burned, it will not die in the true sense. The seal of reincarnation, choose the inheritor to inherit their own power or plant the seal of reincarnation next time to fight against the evil race from outside the territory. This is the origin of the seal of reincarnation. Although the top powerhouse of the evil race from outside the territory is sealed, the power of the seal continues. It is weakening, maybe in 100 years, all the evil races outside the territory will make a comeback, and then the world will have to rely on you. Ancient Emperor Tuasha looked at Xiao Yan in front of him kindly, as if he had made a decision. Same. Do you want to practice the real Fenju? Ancient Emperor Tuasha looked at Xiao Yan seriously. Battle through the heavens as God, the Flame Emperor Chapter 5, Inherited. A real burnout. In the wide stone gate, several figures stand in it. The real Fenju. All Xiao Yan's achievements in Doqi continent are inseparable from Fenju's cultivation technique. Although it is inseparable from his own efforts and perseverance, who can say that there is no Fenju such as heaven and hell? The credit? Miss. Master, please enlighten me. Although Xiao Yan still didn't know what the master's so-called real Fenju was, he was in this unfamiliar new continent. Only strength is the best guarantee, and since he has to resurrect his ancestors to find his clan and his lover, strength is the most important thing, so Xiao Yan agreed without thinking. Boom boom boom. Xiao Yan saw that there was a mysterious scroll in Tuasha Goodie's hand suddenly for no reason. Through the scroll, Xiao Yan felt the strange fire in his body and even the things deeper in his body became more restless. All of this seems to be caused by the scroll in front of him. Master, this is this? Xiao Yan asked while holding back the strong shock in his heart, thinking that his master Tuasha Goodie would definitely not harm him. This is the real burning judgment. Tuasha Goodie said plainly. The real Fenju. At this time, Xiao Yan's heart was extremely shocked. When he was still in the Doqi continent, a trace of his soul left behind in the Doqi continent said that he was able to achieve this achievement because of Fenju, and Tuasha Goodie had said before in Doqi continent that even if he was I don't know who created the Burning Jew. Now Emperor Tuasha is taking out another scroll called Burning Jew. How could Xiao Yan not be surprised? No wonder the strange fire in my body is so restless. No, it should be the Fenju in the deepest part of my body to be more accurate. At this moment, Xiao Yan felt that the Fenju in his body had seen it. When I saw the Fenju in the hands of the ancient Emperor Tuashi, I felt that the Fenju I cultivated was like a broken map, and the master seemed to have the most complete one. Does it feel incredible? Ancient Emperor Tuasha stared at Xiao Yan with a smile, as if the latter's every move and even the thoughts in his heart were all seen by the ancient Emperor Tuasha. The trace of soul left in Doqi continent was left when I was just promoted to Do Emperor. You only inherited my flame power, but did not inherit this complete cultivation technique. After 10,000 years, the memory of the clone and the cognition is only retained before I was promoted to Do D, and because it has been too long, I know relatively few things. I am now, but I am the most complete soul force left in this world before I fell asleep. Ancient Emperor Tuasha said slowly to Xiao Yan. What Emperor Tuasha said was so clear, Xiao Yan understood it all at this time. Why did the ancient Tuasha look like he was hesitant to speak when he accepted the inheritance in the Tuasha ancient emperor cave mansion? It turned out that his memory was incomplete. The trace of the soul avatar of the ancient emperor Tuasha in the ancient emperor's cave on the Dochi continent only recorded the memory of the ancient emperor Tuasha himself on the Dochi continent, so he didn't reveal too much to Xiao Yan at that time, because there was no way to talk about it. After all, the memory is incomplete and there is no way to talk about it without the memory of the new world. After that, the ancient emperor Tuasha broke through the Duki continent and entered a new plane. All memories were not retained on the soul avatar of the Duki continent. The ancient Tuasha in front of him was left by the ancient Tuasha who experienced the new continent. Know a lot of unknown secrets. Okay, hurry up, come over and feel the burning decision in my hand carefully. Ancient Emperor Tuasha looked at the disciple in front of him with a smile. The information returned from the soul power on the Dochi continent was very optimistic about this inheritance. Xiao Yan, the disciple who took up his mantle, nodded towards him quite satisfied. Staring blankly at the illusory black scroll in the hands of Emperor Tuasha Gu, Xiao Yan licked his tongue and said with a smile, although I don't know what will happen in the future, I really have a fate with you. After speaking, Xiao Yan raised a bright smile on his delicate face. Without hesitation, he took the black scroll in the slightly moved eyes of Emperor Tuasha. Just as the palm touched the scroll, a fiery burning sensation came from the palm. Huh? Xiao Yan looked at the ancient Emperor Tuasha in confusion. Although Xiao Yan had already devoured several kinds of strange fires, this temperature was no problem, but Xiao Yan was afraid that something would change, so he turned to look at his master. Relax, this is Fenju checking whether there is any abnormal fire in your body, because the real Fenju, abnormal fire is the basic premise of cultivation. Emperor Tuashi obviously saw Xiao Yan's incomprehension and spoke up. Road. On the black burning Ju scroll, a small flame flew towards Xiao Yan's body at high speed. At first, Xiao Yan felt that this flame was flying around in his body, but as time passed, he felt carefully. It seems that, as his teacher said, he is checking his body. When the flames drifted into the nashi that contained the strange fire in his body, he became quiet. At this moment, the secrets in his body were unreservedly made clear by this small cluster of flames. Knowing the situation, Xiao Yan was not in a hurry, and immediately sat down with his legs crossed, letting the flames probe into his body. The flames withdrew from Xiao Yan's body after a few minutes, and then the scene of qi happened. The scroll in Xiao Yan's hand suddenly radiated a dazzling light, and an aura that made Xiao Yan pay homage to it, as if the world was overshadowed by it, burst out from the scroll, and even the ancient Emperor Tuasha and the Golden Dragon King felt the breath and the corners of his eyes were a little wet, and then a message emerged in Xiao Yan's mind. This decision is called Burning Ju. It is divided into 6 realms. One is Burning Ju, burning the foundation. The second is Burning Ju, burning the soul. The third is Burning Ju, burning the body. 4 is burning heaven. 5 is burning earth. 6 is burning God's self become the world. It is a practice created by the with all his strength, and it is the work I am most proud of. The value is immeasurable. Those who obtain this practice seek wealth and danger, a trace of heaven and a trace of hell. Hope those who are destined can get it in the event of a catastrophe. It can help the world, remember it. A long and ancient voice slowly appeared in Xiao Yan's mind. Xiao Yan's eyes stared at the void in front of him, because the so-called founder of Fenju had the same rune on his forehead just now, and it was the ancestral mark of his Xiao clan. I believe you have also felt the trace of ancestral marks. I can only tell you now that the founder of Fenju does have a deep relationship with your Xiao clan, but if you want to find your clan, you must become stronger. Looking at the end of the meditation, Emperor Tuasha asked Xiao Yan, who had just opened his eyes. I have to figure out what's going on. Xiao Yan's thoughts were full of thoughts. Before, his Xiao family's Do-Di bloodlines suddenly fell, and where did his people on Do-Di continent go? Many unknown mysteries still need to be found by oneself. Emperor Tuasha obviously knew something, but he didn't mention Xiao Yan, so the premise of all this was to have a strong strength. Xiao Yan sighed with emotion, and Fenju, who was deeply imprinted in his mind, thought on his own. Indeed, the end is also a new beginning. The Dochi continent we are in can only be regarded as a lower plane. If you have enough strength, you will be promoted to these upper planes. I was also burnt to achieve the current me. I want to come from various residues. You should also know some of the founders of Funju in the dialogue between you, and you should call him Shizu. Ancient Emperor Tuasha missed looking at the black scroll and bowed silently. Master, he must be the most peak existence in this great world, right? Xiao Yan from the self-created burning decision, Yu reading www.yuukangshu.com. This claimed to be such words, plus his master's mouth, he could hear some clues, since his master was also the one who was burnt, the primitive god that just sounded in his mind should be the teacher of his master Tuasha Goody. My own master. What you are really thinking is that back then I was a flame that was born between heaven and earth, and I had nothing to do with this great world. I just entered the Do Emperor continent, and I caused a lot of trouble because I didn't know the rules of this world, but I was fortunate to meet the master. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't be today. Cough, it's better that you don't know many things, and you will naturally know when the time is right. Emperor Tuasha said a few words obviously in awe, with a kind smile on his face. The moistness of the corners of his eyes could not hide his miss for his master, and then he quickly changed his mouth as if Xiao Yan had discovered it. Since you have now obtained the complete burning judgment, that has fulfilled my wish, and the teacher will have an explanation when he wakes up next time. Emperor Tuasha Gu sighed deeply. But there is one more thing that needs your help, or a mission, but it may be the best way for you to become stronger. Ancient Emperor Tuasha suddenly looked at Xiao Yan and the Golden Dragon King seriously. Master's orders must be obeyed. Master, please say it. Xiao Yan clasped his fists with both hands and respected the ancient Emperor Tuasha. You have to collect holy flames. And the more the better. Because this is related to your Xiao family's bloodline and future wars, it is inconvenient for me to tell you in detail, but Xiao Jin will help you. Remember, you must not activate and use your clan pattern if your strength has not reached the level of fighting immortals. Tuasha Goody said solemnly. Indeed, Xiao Yan felt a trace of blood from the fluctuation of Funju, and what the master said seemed true. Battle through the heavens as God, the Flame Emperor Chapter 6, Holy Flame List. The second is my request, have you seen the Golden Dragon King in front of you? Tuasha Goody suddenly said with guilt, and there were obviously other flavors in his voice. Tuasha. You and my brothers, you don't have to blame yourself like this. Since it was what I decided, I have never regretted it. The Golden Dragon King said to the ancient Emperor Tuasha, even in the state of his soul, the eyes of the Golden Dragon King looking at the ancient Emperor Tuasha firmly, he did not move a bit. When our great 1,000 worlds retreated, if you hadn't led the Dragon Clan to support, where would there be such an old bone as me? Jin Long, you treated me like this, and it was a charge of betrayal of the whole clan. I really feel sorry for it, this time I will let you my disciple Xiao Yan atones for me. I'm really sorry for you. Ancient Emperor Tuasha's eyes were full of guilt, and there was a hint of apology in his mouth. Brother. Xiao Yan muttered to himself, it seems that there seems to be a deep relationship between the Master and the Golden Dragon King, but now, although Xiao Yan is puzzled and does not ask many questions, he continues to listen to Tuasha Goody said. Jin Long, you don't have to argue with me, listen to me, my teacher and I have planted the seal of reincarnation, and we will wake up in the next battle. The most urgent task now is you. You must first recast your body, and then go to the Dragon Clan to clear the charges, and restore your strength to the peak in order to cope with the next catastrophe. The master predicted before he fell asleep that the next time may be the final end. Good brother, it is the greatest luck to have you in this life. This time, it is my disciple to protect you. The ancient Emperor Tuasha sounded softly in Jinlong's mind. After all, nothing was said, and the brotherhood, needless to say, was in the hearts of the two of them. After comforting his good brother, Emperor Tuasha continued to talk to Xiao Yan. These two arduous tasks will be handed over to you, Xiao Yan, we believe that you will succeed. When you succeed, it will be the time for us to wake up. When that time comes, we will recreate the glory with you, and we will kill you together. Evil clan from outside the territory. Ancient Emperor Tuasha looked at Xiao Yan expectantly. This is a reward for you to be promoted to Do Emperor as a teacher. Jin Long, you should live in there and assist Xiao Yan in the future. A seemingly simple ring on his finger fell towards Xiao Yan's hand. This ring is called Emperor Flame Ring, and there is about 100 feet of space in it. There are some other medicine pills and fighting skills I have learned. There is also a space charm for first aid. When encountering an invincible enemy, quickly crush it and you can escape far away, especially that extraterritorial evil race. In addition, I also kept the soul clone in the important mission I mentioned and some secrets you want to know. When you collect the corresponding strange fire or the strength reaches the corresponding level, you will gradually know it. When you are strong enough, you can know it by touching it with your soul. Remember to keep this ring safe. Emperor Tuasha said solemnly to Xiao Yan. Look at the 100 zhang space in the ring, there are many things in the medicine scroll material. Xiao Yan's heart was violently shocked. The usual space for accepting the ring is only a few feet. Generally, there are special people who are better. Only those made of special materials have a space of more than 10 feet. If this space of 100 feet is put up for auction on the mainland, what kind of scene will it be? Of course, Xiao Yan is not really stupid enough to sell it. Then Xiao Yan said solemnly, Don't worry, master, I will definitely protect this ring. Is it an alien race? It seems that even his own master hates these people to the core. The black figure before should also be considered an alien race. The strength is really strong. Xiao Yan asked himself based on his current strength. It is impossible to beat him, but self-defense is not a problem. You are still young and have unlimited potential. My master and I both believe in you. My mission can be considered completed. This soul should dissipate. The illusory soul of Emperor Tuasha slowly turned into stars. Dispersed, with bursts of relief on his face. Respectful farewell to the master. Xiao Yan solemnly kowtowed 3 times at the place where the ancient Emperor Tuasha's soul avatar disappeared, and Jinlong looked at the disappeared soul of the ancient Emperor Tuasha, and murmured to himself, in that case. You are waiting for me, and I will also add a heavy touch to this world. After a long time, Xiao Yan, who was the first to react, clasped his fists towards Jinlong and said, Senior, I don't know what we should do now. Fuck. I'm your master's brother, I have such a youngest and a senior, I'm called Shizu. The golden dragon soul in front of him complained to Xiao Yan. Master. Yes, that's good. He laughed and got into the Emperor Flame Ring, in Xiao Yan's hand. I believe that Tuashi also told you just now that the real Fenju cultivation method has been recorded in your mind. Now I will tell you that our dragon family is a giant in this world. If you have a chance in the future, you will naturally know that I have not been to the Dochi continent of your lower plains, but I heard Tusha say that your lower plains call unusual flames, different fires. Call these strange flames born between heaven and earth, holy flames. The Golden Dragon King was entrenched in the ring and faced Xiao Yan. Xing Yan. I don't know what's the difference between it and my strange fire. Xiao Yan listened to what the Golden Dragon King said, and always felt that there was a slight difference between the two. It's really smart. Yes, there is a difference between the two. The so-called extraordinary fire is an ordinary flame, most of which do not have too high intelligence. As long as they can withstand its violent power, they can be subdued, but holy fire, Yan, is different. They have been cultivated to give birth to wisdom that is not inferior to human beings, and even the powerful, sacred Yan has already established itself as a party's overlord. Xiao Yan listened to the Golden Dragon King, and couldn't help but feel a little worried. Can such a powerful, holy flame still be swallowed? But it's actually not difficult to conquer them. The Golden Dragon King smiled, clearly seeing Xiao Yan's worries. The more powerful the power, the more expensive the price. It is because of the sanctions of heaven and earth that we have a chance. You know, every monster, or monster race, or a flame born from heaven and earth, has a long lifespan, but heaven and earth do not allow this kind of supernatural existence, so we made a rule that we must break through our own shackles every 100,000 years. The so-called baptism is 10 deaths and no life. Back then, when I was young and arrogant, I only realized how terrible the scourge was when I broke through a certain scourge. That time I thought it was the real death. It's me. The Golden Dragon King recalled. So it is, but the master doesn't have to blame himself too much, who is not frivolous when he is young. Xiao Yan listened to the Golden Dragon King in the ring and clearly felt the warmth spread to his fingers. The same is true of Yunlanzong. There are 36 species on the Holy Flame list. They are scattered throughout the world. Ordinary people only know that it can be swallowed up as an assistant for refining medicine pills, but they don't know that it is the nemesis of the abominable alien race. The 36 kinds of holy flames correspond to the 36 evil races outside the territory, and the existence of each source fire is an existence that can completely suppress the strength of the evil race outside the territory. The war 10,000 years ago was precisely because of these holy flames in our great thousand worlds have given us tremendous help. The top 3 holy flames have all fallen into reincarnation and slumber. You know so much, and I will naturally explain it to you when you encounter it. The Golden Dragon King said solemnly. Let's go, we should go too, and take you to see this great world. The Golden Dragon King looked at Xiao Yan with a smile. How could I disobey your request, Tuasha? Xiao Yan in front of him heard what the Golden Dragon King said. Although it was an understatement, Xiao Yan could feel the hardships of that battle. If that day really comes, I will do my best. Immediately, without being hypocritical, he strode out of the ancient cave. Dakian world. Just let me Xiao Yan come to meet you. Xiao Yan looked into the distance firmly. Battle through the heavens as God, the Flame Emperor Chapter 7, set off, Dudi Continent. It's still a while from the passage from Dongfu to the New World. I think you don't know the rules of the New World. I'll tell you in detail now. The Golden Dragon King's gentle voice sounded in Xiao Yan's ears. Master, please tell me. Xiao Yan was about to ask this question, but he didn't expect Master to be so understanding. The continent we are going to is called Dodi Continent. There are no various types of magic that are commonly seen in novels, and Do Qi is the only main theme of the continent. On this continent, the cultivation of Do Qi has almost reached its peak with the efforts of countless generations, and due to the continuous reproduction of Do Qi, it has even spread to the people. Daily life has become closely related, so the importance of vindictiveness in the mainland has become irreplaceable. Because of the extreme multiplication of Do Qi, it has also led to the differentiation of countless Do Qi cultivation methods from this main line. The so-called hand has lengths, and the differentiated Do Qi cultivation methods are naturally strong and weak. After summarizing the statistics, the Do Qi continent where Xiao Yan was before divided the levels of Do Qi Gong techniques into 4 and 12 levels from high to low, heaven, earth, Xian, Huang. And each level is divided into 3 levels, elementary, middle, and high. The new continent Dudi Continent, which has been promoted now, has added the levels of Do Qigong to the previous foundation as immortal, saint, and god, and each level is divided into beginner, middle, high, and third. The level of the fighting Qigong technique practiced is also the key to determining the level of success in the future. For example, people who practiced intermediate-level Xian-level exercises in the Do Qi continent are naturally a bit stronger than those of the same level who practiced high-level Huang-level exercises. In Do Di continent, the distinction between strength and weakness depends on 3 conditions. First of all, the most important thing is of course your own strength. If your own strength is only at the level of a 1-star Do Zun, then even if you are cultivating a rare cultivation technique at the high level of the sky, it will be difficult for you to defeat a Do Sheng who cultivates an earth-level cultivation technique. Secondly, it is the cultivation technique. For a powerhouse of the same level, if your skill level is much higher than the opponent's, then during the test, you will know all the advantages at a glance. The last one is called fighting skills. As the name suggests, this is a special skill for exerting Do Qi. Do skills are above the Do Qi continent and also have different levels. Generally speaking, they are also divided into 4 levels of heaven, earth, and yellow, and each level is further divided into low level, intermediate level, and advanced. On the Do Di continent, the level division is also the 3rd level of Immortal Holy Spirit, and each level is divided into 4 levels, low level, intermediate level, high level, and peak. There are countless fighting skills on the Do Di continent, but most of the popular fighting skills that have been circulated are only around the prefecture level. If you want to acquire more advanced fighting skills, you must join a sect or a Do Qi academy on the mainland. Of course, some of the exercises left by the predecessors who rely on adventures, or have their own matching fighting skills, such fighting skills evolved from the exercises, when combined with each other, the power is stronger. Only by relying on these three conditions can we judge which is stronger and which is weaker. Generally speaking, if you can have a high-level Do Qigong method, the benefits in the future will be self-evident. However, it is very difficult for ordinary people to obtain advanced Do Qi cultivation techniques. The exercises that are circulated in ordinary classes are at most only earth-level exercises. Some relatively powerful families or small and medium-sized sects should have heaven-level cultivation methods. Above the celestial rank is the immortal rank, but perhaps only those transcendent forces and great empires can possess such profound cultivation techniques. As for the Holy Order, it hasn't appeared for hundreds of years. Theoretically speaking, if ordinary people want to obtain advanced exercises, it is basically as difficult as reaching the sky. However, nothing is absolute. The Dudi continent is vast, with thousands of ethnic groups, and the northern part of the continent. In the southern part of the continent, there are also various high-level warcraft families with extremely high IQs, and there are also the dark races famous for their strangeness and viciousness, and so on. Due to the vast territory, there are also many unknown and unknown hermits. After their lives come to an end, they are withdrawn and may hide the exercises they created in their lives somewhere, waiting for those who are destined to take them. There is a saying, if one day, you fall off a cliff or a cave, don't panic, take 2 steps forward, maybe, you will become a strong man. These words are not false. In the history of the mainland for nearly 1,000 years, there is no general story of becoming a strong man by relying on adventures. The consequence of this story is that it has created a large number of dreamers who wait on the edge of the cliff every day, preparing to jump off the cliff to obtain a peerless exercise. Of course, most of these people return with broken arms and broken legs. In short, Dochi continent is a continent full of miracles and miracles. Secondly, you should also know that in Dodi continent, not everyone is a strong Dodi continent. In fact, Dodi continent is the same as your Dochi continent. It takes every effort to cultivate in order to advance to a stronger realm. But Dodi continent is the upper plane after all, the spiritual energy of heaven and earth is much stronger than your lower planes, so the people here cultivate faster. Generally speaking, most of the ordinary people can reach the level of Do Zun, and some talented people will reach Do Sheng. As for Emperor Do, it is not a big one, only small family power, royal family, or some big sects have it. Of course there are some old monsters who are hidden from the world and willing to be powerful, but there are no absolutes in the world. Powerful families are so talented the older generation also has Do Di in charge. The currency of Do Di continent is gold, silver and copper. 100 copper is equal to 1 silver, and 100 silver is equal to 1 gold. In general, the hierarchy of Dudi Dalu is, from low to high, UU reading www.uukangshu.com Do Di, Do Xian, Do Shen, each rank is divided into 9 stars, from 1 star to 9 stars, each star is divided into the early stage, middle stage, late stage and consummation. Above the 9 stars, it is the 9th turn, and 99 return to 1, before you can step into the next realm. There has always been a rumor that fights immortals, fights gods, dominates the world, reincarnations, the great 1,000 worlds, the 10th rank is the emperor, the 9th rank of the emperor is the immortal, and the one who exists is the god. Alchemist, it is divided into 1st grade emperor, 2nd grade emperor, 3rd grade emperor, and each rank is further divided into 3 grades of elixir of heaven and earth. Immortal rank 4, Immortal rank 5, Immortal rank 6, Saint rank 7, Saint rank 8, Saint rank 9, and the legendary 10th rank are divine pills, which have always been just legends, and no one has seen them at all. Soul power, the soul of the emperor is divided into, ordinary, heaven, earth, entering the virtual realm, for levels, the fairyland soul is divided into, entry, perception, fusion, the holy realm is divided into, stepping into the virtual, refined, holy, the realm is not too much excessively detailed division. Cultivation level, immortal rank, holy rank, god rank. Low level, intermediate level, high level, complete. Fighting skill level, immortal holy spirit 3 levels, each level is divided into low level, intermediate level, high level and peak level 4. As for the level of monsters on the Dudi continent, there are 3 levels of Emperor, Immortal, and God, and each level is 10th level. It is rumored that monsters who break through the 10th rank of the Emperor can transform into human beings to practice again. Because of the long lifespan of monsters, they can choose freely, but after the monsters break through the Emperor, every rank will attract divine condemnation. A careless, serious injury, serious damage. So transforming humans can avoid this problem very well. Legend has it that Warcraft can be transformed into a humanoid and can also be promoted to the god of fighting. Just don't know if it's true or not. Xiao Yan listened to the words of the Golden Dragon King, his mind was buzzing, there was too much information. Colleagues also began to look forward to this new continent. A new beginning. After speaking, he looked at the sky outside the passage with a confident smile on his lips. Battle through the heavens as God, the Flame Emperor Chapter 8, Mysterious Woman. The endless sky and the earth, the blue sky occasionally chirps like birds and beasts, and if you look closely, a space is slightly distorted, and a young man with a thin body and a heavy back emerges from it. In the sky, who is this? Not Xiao Yan. Is this the Dodi continent? Sure enough, there is a lot of Emperor's origin chi. Xiao Yan also found that the Emperor's origin chi and the heaven and earth spiritual chi of Dochi continent didn't seem to be much different, so he didn't pay too much attention. Xiao Yan stood in the sky out of thin air and carefully felt this piece of Dodi continent, and found that the spiritual energy of heaven and earth on this continent was several times more powerful and abundant than the previous Dochi continent. No wonder it can be called an upper plane. Master, where are we going now? The Golden Dragon King did not stop Xiao Yan, and let him experience the atmosphere of the new continent in the sky of this new continent. Dudi continent is divided into 4 relatively independent continents, south, east, and northwest. Next, we should go to the northernmost continent, which is also the weaker continent on Dodi continent, because I have some personal affairs to deal with, and there are some things that are impressive. The existence of sacred flame has been around for so many years, I really don't know if it's okay. The Golden Dragon King pondered with nostalgia. Holy Yen. Xiao Yan's heart seemed to be burning hot again, just like when he was looking for a strange fire. Land down first, many of the skies in this continent are ruled by the state, and the sky is strictly forbidden, otherwise we will be in trouble. The voice of the Golden Dragon King came from the ring. When Xiao Yan heard the words, he was stunned, and immediately flew towards the ground. Looking at your young age, if you tell the location of the treasure pavilion, then we can let you go. Otherwise, look at your tender flesh, these brothers here will not let you go. The man with a ferocious face said to a woman in front of him who seemed to be helpless. After he finished speaking, he looked at the men who were smiling evilly behind him. I don't even know where the treasure pavilion is. I'm just a servant of the Mu family. How can I know? You should ask the people of the Mu family. The woman was obviously wronged. The man with fierce eyes, even his voice was slightly faint. Ask the Mu family. We all came from the Mu family. The head of the Mu family said before he died that you took away the blueprints of the treasure pavilion. What else do you have to say? The leading man growled. Said to the woman in front of him. If you want to kill, why do you need so many excuses for nonsense? The woman also saw that the person in front of her was just looking for so many excuses to kill herself, and there was no such thing as a treasure map. Go. First, take off all her clothes, and search for the ring. The men behind him looked at the woman in front of them with fiery eyes. Qingji's face and 3,000 blue silks were hanging down, and everyone with a small waist and white skin was watching. The same drool. It's really not as good as a beast. The young woman stroked the only decoration on her hand, which was the only thing her mother had left for her, and then her eyes became much firmer, preferring jade to be broken rather than tile. Woman's eyes. Xiao Yan, wait, go to the east of you, I feel a vaguely familiar aura looming, hurry up. The Golden Dragon King in the ring said to Xiao Yan, he could make himself feel the aura of déjà vu, or it was a former enemy, or just a former friend. Obviously there will be no strong aura on the border of this continent, so the result is obviously the latter. Only then did he roar at Xiao Yan. Boom boom boom. Just when the woman was about to meet the vicious hands of everyone, when she was taking action to protect her chastity, Xiao Yan arrived in time, and Xiao Yi seemed to see that none of them were good people because of their behavior. With a bit of anger, the strange fire spread out in an instant, knocking down all the weaker ones. Maybe even Xiao Yan didn't realize that since the mysterious rune lighted up on Xiao Yi's forehead on the way to Do Di continent, she has gradually become humanized. Yi rarely speaks. Who is your excellency? This girl is our target. If you want to be a hero to save the beauty, you're looking for the wrong person. Come on, brothers. The man in the lead instantly turned gloomy and looked at Xiao Yan, who was about to die in front of him, with disdain. Young Xia, be careful. Their leader is a 6-star fighting saint. The woman was very grateful to Xiao Yan for saving her, but she also knew the strength of these people who were chasing her, and didn't want to involve Xiao Yan's innocent life, so she hurriedly warned her. But what the woman didn't expect was that in the blink of an eye, Xiao Yan instantly killed the few people who were still in front of her. The remaining man looked at Xiao Yan in fear and shouted for mercy. This is an elixir. If you're not afraid that I will poison you, just take it. It can relieve your wounds very well. Xiao Yan handed a healing elixir and a topical medicine to the girl, who was still determined in her eyes. Looked at the blood flowing from the girl's calf and couldn't help feeling a little distressed, completely ignoring the man in front of him and a few remaining subordinates. My own first-hand brothers are also a group of fighting saints. Although they do not work very hard in their cultivation, they are under the leadership of their 6-star fighting saints to pick up some tasks every now and then to make a living. But the strange thing is that when Xiao Yan appeared in front of him, the vindictive energy in his body seemed to solidify, especially the milky white figure made him sweat cold. Thank you. After saying that, the girl did not hesitate. She picked up Xiao Yan's mobile phone and swallowed it directly. After taking the medicine, she put it on her wound, and her wound solidified within a few seconds of applying it. Now, I even feel a trace of warmth in the wound repairing my wound. This is definitely a high-level medicine pill. The young woman was shocked. Why are so many of you chasing a weak woman? Xiao Yan asked with a smile. Young master, spare your life, we homeless prodigal sons have no choice but to go to Mu's house this time to collect some money, but who would have thought that when we just went to their Mu's house would have been bloodbath long ago. It's the same, there is a lot of smoke everywhere, even the remaining servants are not spared, we are also threatened by some mysterious people, I heard that she has a map of the treasure pavilion on her body, so. The man looked at Xiao Yan in horror. Xiao Yan also knew this. The man did not lie, because a person does not dare to lie when he is extremely frightened. Many thanks for your life-saving grace. The woman knelt down and kowtowed to Xiao Yan when she saw the situation at this time. Get up, you don't need to be so polite. Although Xiao Yan didn't know why the Golden Dragon King asked himself to save the 1-star fighting saint in front of him, there must be a reason for the Golden Dragon King. Whatever you do with this person is up to you. Xiao Yan turned around and said to the woman. Anong, let's just let him go. In fact, they have no choice but to. I didn't know who my parents were since I was born. As far back as I can remember, I only knew the ring on my hand was the only clue to find them. Anyway, the Mu family has nurturing me, maybe I am too weak now, but I will avenge the Mu family. He clenched his small fist and said resolutely. If you have anything, just say it. Xiao Yan just wanted to leave when he saw that the matter in front of him was resolved. Because of his tenderness towards the enemy, he sometimes killed himself, but he saw the woman who was extremely embarrassed and hesitating as if she had something to say. Look. Anong, I know that you are a good person. The Mu family has been destroyed. I am helpless now. Although it is a bit presumptuous, can I accompany you? I can do laundry and cook anything. And I want to investigate this matter. But I will always follow my benefactor if I have my wish. After hesitating, he looked at Xiao Yan, the last straw of life, with anticipation. Indeed, the Mu family was destroyed. Where is there a place for yourself? The weak will be bullied, the weak will not be able to protect what they want to protect, the weak will not be able to find their biological parents, I must become stronger. The woman looked at Xiao Yan firmly, which reminded Xiao Yan of himself back then, and the woman in front of him was very similar to himself back then. Battle through the heavens as God, the Flame Emperor Chapter 9, walking together, 1 country, 2 pavilions, 3 valleys and 4 cases. Get up, I promise you. Xiao Yan said helplessly. He was also walking the continent to find a way to become stronger, and he had to find solutions to his responsibilities and many mysteries. Isn't it a burden to bring this girl? When Xiao Yan wanted to refuse, the Golden Dragon King said to Xiao Yan, just bring her, you will definitely be grateful for your decision in the future, to be able to meet such a rare one here. The vague statement was not clear, and then Xiao Yan agreed. Angong, my name is Qingyuan, I don't know the name of Ngongzhen. The girl named Qingyuan asked Xiao Yan happily. Originally, Qin Yuan didn't just believe in the pills and help of strangers. Maybe such a hypocrite would be even more terrifying. He had heard of such a person in the Mu family before, but what makes Qin Yuan strange is that since Xiao Yan with the appearance of Xiao Yan, Qin Yuan felt a kindness that he had never had before, and there seemed to be a voice in Qin Yuan's heart saying, follow the person in front of you. That's why Qin Yuan was born. The scene where he ate Xiao Yan's medicinal pill without hesitation and begged Xiao Yan to take him in. Qin Yuan, don't call me benefactor, it's just a little effort, my name is Xiao Yan. Out of trust in the Golden Dragon King, Xiao Yan directly told Qin Yuan his name without being pretentious. Moreover, from the words and shock of the Golden Dragon King, Xiao Yan could feel that Qin Yuan a few years ago seemed to be very difficult. Then how can I do it? The benefactor has saved my life, and Qin Yuan will always remember it. The etiquette can't be messed up. If the benefactor doesn't dislike it, I will call you Brother Xiao Yan in the future. Qin Yuan was cautiously blushing. He looked at Xiao Yan, for fear that he would reject him. Okay. Xiao Yan said helplessly. Xiao Yan knew very well that he was not a good person. If it wasn't for the Golden Dragon King who spoke out to save this girl, or she would have been poisoned already. But since he decided to help Qin Yuan, he would not let her feel this homeless feeling again. Angong, do you have a place to go now? If not, let's go to investigate the Mu family. Qin Yuan looked at Xiao Yan very happily because Xiao Yan agreed to take him in. Qin Yuan, do you know the situation around here? I went out for a walk alone, and wanted to go to a nearby city to buy some medicine pills and maps for emergencies. Looking at Qin Yuan, whose eyes were slightly red, Xiao Yan asked embarrassedly, to investigate the matter of the Mu family, of course, to know some forces in this continent. I know. I'm afraid that I can't help Brother Xiao Yan to add to your burden. The girl seemed to be laughing through tears as she spoke. Qincheng, located at the foot of the Monster Beast Mountains, is also the border of the Xianling continent. As the boundary of the mainland and the foot of the Warcraft Mountains, this also created the prosperity of Qincheng in this radius of a few hundred miles. With Xiao Yan's current speed, it only took a few minutes to get to Qincheng, but Qin Yuan's ankle was injured, so he slowed down a bit. Brother Xiao Yan, why are you alone? Are you so powerful that you came out to travel? Qin Yuan asked lively and excitedly, apparently like 100,000 wise. That's right, by the way, Qin Yuan, what are the special forces on this Xianling continent? Xiao Yan asked while looking at Qin Yuan. Walking in an unfamiliar country, it's best to figure out who can offend and who can't, so as not to cause trouble. Originally, Xiao Yan planned to ask his master, the Golden Dragon King, but how could he use the Golden Dragon King's own words? I can't remember these small cities at all, small cities. Xiao Yan was sweating profusely, so he couldn't help asking Qin Yuan. The Xianling continent is divided into 2 major families, humans and monsters. I don't know the power of monsters. As for the power of human beings, they are roughly divided into 1 country, 2 pavilions, 3 valleys and 4 sections. Of course, there are some equally powerful forces, but only a few people. I know. Qin Yuan pondered for a while and said, in the Xianling continent, the country's dominance has reached its peak. After the royal family ruled the Xianling continent, some powerful forces were born in this land, but they still surrendered. Under the coercion of the royal family, such a powerful force is of course dissatisfied with the rule of the royal family, but after the resistance, the voice of opposition gradually disappeared, because it is said that the royal family has a fighting immortal in charge. Doxian. This Xianling continent is really a crouching tiger, hidden dragon. Xiao Yan secretly said that the power of the royal family in this Xianling continent is strong, and his current strength should be in the early stage of the 3-star Do Di, but he is still a long way from that Do Xian. There is a long way to go, but Xiao Yan is not discouraged. He still understands the truth that one cannot eat a big fat man. One country is the royal family. It is said that the royal family is very powerful. In the face of the forces opposed to its own rule, it once adopted an attitude of disappearing. Only then can there be unity. And the two pavilions are the Fenxiang Pavilion and the Wanhua Pavilion, which is strange to say. The Fenxiang Pavilion is very strict in accepting apprentices, only accepting people with fire attributes, and they must be men. There is no woman in the pavilion. It seems that the yang is prosperous and the yin is declining, and the Wanhua Pavilion is not so harsh, but it is also opposed to the Fenxiang Pavilion. In general, Wanhua only accepts women. It is rumored that the pavilion master of Wanhua and the pavilion owner of Fenxiang have a marriage relationship. It is not clear what it is. In the end, the two most powerful forces in the Xianling continent were established respectively after the end of the song. One of them. Qin Yuan explained slowly to Xiao Yan. Besides, the three valleys are Dan Valley, Nightmare Valley, and Astrology Valley. As the name suggests, the so-called Pill Valley is a piece of genius and treasure. It is rumored that the founder of Pill Valley found a treasure land that is extremely suitable for natural materials and treasures, so he founded Pill Valley. Although the strength of Pill Valley is not very strong, fortunately they have a strong. The alchemist has a lot of connections with many rare heaven and earth treasures. Nightmare Valley is a soul major, and is superb. Although his own strength is mediocre, he can use a soul attack to make people lose their minds for a short time and cause a fatal blow. Astrology Valley is one of the weakest among the three valleys, and it is the only one that can predict profits. Yu reading www.yuukangshu.com uses the power of the stars to fight or predict the future. The last four sects are the four sects with heritage. Poison Sect, Sword God Sect, Ming Sect, Solomon 4. Poison Sect, as the name suggests, is composed of people who use poison qi or cannot practice normal qi due to various reasons. Among them, the suzerain is a strong person with a poisonous body, because the suzerain had a great poison body at the beginning, and the empire sent troops to fight but was ruthless. Poisoning thousands of troops, out of desperation, the empire let them establish a poison sect, leaving the best place to stay for those who practice poison fighting and are looked down upon by others, and who are homeless and discriminated against. So the reputation of the sect master of the poison sect is a lot of responses in the sect. Although it is not popular, the poison sect has not done anything excessive after that, and the sect master poison is still there, so it has survived for a long time. Sword God Sect, as the name suggests, is to cultivate normal fighting spirit but use the sword as the main means of attack. We do not talk about the strength of fighting spirit here, it only depends on your perception and use of the sword, which is also what ordinary people call sword intent. Only swordsmen who are proficient in various weapons and equipment can win this honor, and only then can they climb to the pinnacle of divine sword. Mingjiao is most famous for its melee combat skills. It can hide its whereabouts to find the opportunity to attack the enemy, and after showing up, it has a powerful burst and instant control ability, giving the enemy a fatal blow. Therefore, the title of Mingjiao's hidden killer has been circulating. Solomon claims to be a place that accommodates all strange people and magic, but it is also the most mysterious sect, because this sect is very low-key, and there are few good or bad rumors. Qin Yuan briefly introduced the power distribution of the Xianling continent. Like a little girl who had done a good deed and hoped to be praised, she looked at Xiao Yan with anticipation, like a child who expected to be praised. Battle through the heavens as God, the Flame Emperor Chapter 10, Treasure Source. Knowing that you are amazing, let's go to the city. He also took Qin Yuan's little hand and walked towards the city gate, but he didn't notice a trace of crimson on Qin Yuan's face, and he didn't know what Qin Yuan was thinking. You too, stop. Routine inspection, take down the bamboo hat. Several sturdy men stood at the gate of Qingcheng and said to Xiao Yan. Okay, it's not them, let's go. The checkpoints set up at the door are extremely strict to check the passing pedestrians, as if they are looking for something. Hey, what a hell. Ever since the Mu family was destroyed, the city has been banned. I don't know what's going on. It seems like I'm looking for a killer. Who knows, since the murderer dared to destroy the Mu family, he must have something to rely on. You should be careful when you go out. I heard that the murderer is still in the city. It's true or false? Xiao Yan and Qin Yuan had just walked into the city when he heard other people's whispers. Qin Yuan, do you know why the Mu family was destroyed like this? Xiao Yan asked curiously. I'm not too sure. I remember that the owner of the family got something so. Qin Yuan was a little sad when he said that, although the Mu family didn't treat him well, but after all, they took in the kindness of raising him, and said Mu family. It's still a bit sad that the house was destroyed. Every man is innocent, but he is guilty. Xiao Yan immediately spoke to comfort Qin Yuan, and then dragged Qin Yuan towards the pharmacy. Xiao Yan just wanted to go to the inn, only to realize that he was penniless, and he couldn't even talk to Qin Yuan, so he asked, Qin Yuan, let's go to auction some medicinal herbs first. I just need to buy some medicinal materials. When Qin Yuan heard this, he could not help but envy Xiao Yan and walked towards the auction. The three characters of Jubaiyuan stand on a tall plaque, which looks very imposing. Jubaiyuan is the largest auction house for medicinal pills and medicinal materials in Qincheng. Xiao Yan took Qin Yuan, and in order to prevent being recognized, they put on a cloak that covered their entire bodies and walked in. As soon as he walked in, he smelled a refreshing scent. This scent was familiar to Xiao Yan. What do you two need? A seemingly shrewd man approached Xiao Yan with a smile and asked. Although many people came to auction items, and they wanted to buy medicinal pills, they all showed their true colors, but it was inevitable that some people like Xiao Yan would appear. Hello, I need to auction the medicinal herbs, and by the way, I also asked to buy some rare medicinal materials, I just don't know if you have them here. Xiao Yan deliberately lowered his voice and said. What grade of medicinal herbs are you going to auction off, sir? As for the medicinal materials, don't worry, sir, I have everything in Jubaiyuan. With his shrewdness, how could he not be able to see what Xiao Yan was thinking, so he hurriedly said something to comfort him. I don't know what grade of medicinal herbs you need to auction off, sir. The man asked Xiao Yan after carefully looking at it. 9th order golden pill. What? What's the matter? Is my auction rank too low? Sir. No, the distinguished guests please come, I'll call our CEO, please wait. The two talked. The 9th order golden pill, the man was obviously shocked. You must know that although the Do-Di continent has much more spiritual energy than the Do-Chi continent, and the strength can be improved through the power of blood and medicinal pills, the alchemist has to step up step by step. Yes, there are no shortcuts at all, so the rarity of alchemists is no less than that in Do-Chi continent. It's no wonder that the man who received Xiao Yan and the others was so shocked, because the most he usually receives is around the 6th rank, and the 9th rank is really. Hello, sir, in Xia Qinghe, the CEO of Jubaiyuan is also a first-rank emperor alchemist, sir, is he going to auction the 9th order golden elixir? A thin middle-aged man named Qinghe came out. This is the 9th grade Jindan and some healing medicines that I want to auction. In addition, these are the medicinal materials I need this time. I hope the CEO can help look at it. Xiao Yan was also polite to Zhang He. Zhang He took over a dozen bottles of grade 9 golden elixir and a note with many medicinal herbs that Xiao Yan passed over from the sky, and his heart was slightly shocked, sending things through the air. Do-Di. Qin He had some plans in his heart. Sir, wait for a while at this moment, and come when you go. After saying that, Qin He clasped his fist at Xiao Yan and wanted to leave. Executive Qin, wait a minute, to be honest, I was in a hurry to get out, and I didn't have time to bring the money, so I wanted to sell the medicinal pills as soon as possible in exchange for the medicinal materials I needed. Xiao Yan said to Qin He. Qin He heard, Sir, do you really want to do this? Originally, I planned to advertise to Mr. that the price would rise significantly. In this case, I will arrange the fastest auction. By the way, I will go to the warehouse to get medicine for Mr., and I will come when I go. Said and walked out in a hurry. Xiao Yan watched Qin He go out, and walked in. A girl with a delicate face and a hot body, cautious and a little scared, came in with a good tea, apparently ordered to serve Xiao Yan on purpose. Xiao Yan saw he was not in a hurry, because Xiao Yan also knew that these things would take some time, and immediately sat down and drank the tea that the girls handed over, and Qin Yuan, who was beside him, followed Xiao Yan in a similar manner. The girl looked at Xiao Yan in front of her and seemed to have nothing wrong with her, and then took a breath. She had been instructed to serve this big man before, so even if you have any special requirements, you should try your best to meet them, otherwise. Fortunately, the big man in front of him was not that kind of person. Xiao Yan took a careful look at the room of the treasure source, and found that the structure here is simple, but there is an invisible pressure that he doesn't know what it is. That should be the formation. I didn't expect that there is still protection here. The Golden Dragon King said suddenly. Ever since Xiao Yan accepted to take Qin Yuan with him, the Golden Dragon King said that some of the medicinal herbs disappeared. He didn't say anything until today. Xiao Yan thought, what happened to the Golden Dragon King? Master, what happened to Qin Yuan? Why don't you let me take her like this? Xiao Yan replied in his heart. Where is all this nonsense? Are the medicinal materials in hand? You will know when the time comes. You don't know how lucky you are. Now you are still complaining here, and you will thank me in a few days. The Golden Dragon King was obviously played a riddle with Xiao Yan. Sir, if the medicinal herbs you have left behind are auctioned for a total of 5 million, you read www.uukangshu.com and then deduct 1.5 million and 10% of the handling fee for the medicinal herbs on the note of Mr. All 3 million are already on this card, so you can take this kind of thing. Qin He also did not dare to neglect Xiao Yan, and took out 10 bottles of 9th grade gold elixir from Xiao Yan. A non-ordinary pharmacist can refine it, at least the person in front of him is on an equal footing with himself. Immediately, he handed over a tiger-patterned crystal card and an intermediate-level navy ring. The tiger-patterned crystal card can only be used by the strong above Do D. Could it be that the man in black in front of him is actually a Do D? Moreover, he is also a Do D who can refine a 9th grade Jin Dan at the lowest level. This dual identity cannot help but awe-inspiring. Since there is nothing to do, then I would like to thank the big deacon and say goodbye. Xiao Yan took the things in Zhang He's hand and prepared to leave Jubaiyuan. Sir, wait a minute, I'm sorry for taking the liberty. Recently, the Mu family's affairs are full of storms in the city, and the city is under martial law. You should be careful. I heard that the murderer specially killed the pharmacist. Qin He also said to Xiao Yan, such a high-level pharmacist, even if he can't, it is also a good thing to win him over and make him feel good about Jubaiyuan. Thank you, Deacon, for reminding me. I'm leaving. Xiao Yan clasped his fists towards Qin He and said. Master, what is this person's identity? How can he come up with so many 9th grade golden pills, and what does he want to buy so many high-end medicinal herbs for? The man just now asked Qin He respectfully. I don't know what his identity is, but his identity and strength as a pharmacist is real, and he may be on the same rank as me or even higher. Because the soul fluctuations faintly emanating from him are very strong, and I don't want to buy such medicinal materials. It is clear what it is for, but you should not inquire about people of this level, just do your job well. Qin He said slowly.